Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer, any opinion here is mine and mine alone. Now this is a life update video, so this is a video log, strictly me talking. So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a rundown of what I've been up to lately, certain like updates on varying projects, all that jazz. So that's that on that, so it's a bit more like factual without me putting sources into whatever, so to speak. So with that all out of the way, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So overall with health and work, work's been rather interesting, to put it kindly, and the wording there is more or less deliberate, because you know how varying companies, they tend to monitor certain things. I just don't want to put myself at that type of risk over usage of words, in the sense of like what I exactly say on social media about my job, if that makes any sense. So work's been really interesting for me lately, and my hours have been all over the place, and I don't know when it's going to end. I mean, considering who I work for, I mean, I still have my job for the time being, but who really knows at this point? So that's that on that with the work stuff. And because my work stuff's been all over the place, I really haven't had much time to do stuff that I want to do, like content creation, all that stuff. So it's like my job's been really interesting, to put it lightly. I've been dealing with some health issues as well. The sciatica, which is tied to your lower back, and the pain from that can go down from anywhere to below the knee to around your ankle. The sciatica has gotten worse for me, because for a while it was just my right side that was getting like the brunt end of that pain, but now in recent times it's developing on my left side. So the sciatica has gotten worse. So I really had to take it easy in the sense of the gym. I had to take a break, a longer break than usual, to get my work stuff situated. Alongside the health stuff, the sciatica, again, it got worse. So it's one of those things where it's like I really had to take it easy. I may take longer breaks, from certain projects than anticipated, that sort of thing. Regarding varying projects, to be to the point, so the Bumblebee video, and since I did say it was pushed back to the fall, I am aiming for November on this one, because I have a week off from work in November, and that is perhaps the best time for me to pull it off. Because I have varying photos ready. I just have to, really sit down, crack down the notes, organizing everything. I just want to make sure everything is like, the way I want it to be. And being a bit of a perfectionist, it's just like certain things that are out of place will just ruin it for me, so to speak. Now, I do have some PC related videos coming up. I just have to plan certain things. And the main thing here is the second half of like the whole PC aspect, where it's like the 3 builds, Odin, Raiden, and Deadpool. If I were to upgrade them, what would I do? I do have some of the parts where I'm planning to upgrade some stuff too, combine aspects of certain things into certain things to keep it simple there. And speaking of one of the computers, I actually had to part ways with one of them. A long story short, and this is where some people know about this in real life, is that I am anticipating a movie to Seattle in about 5 to 10 years. So the thing is, you guys have heard about it earlier in this video, my sciatica got worse. So it's one of those things where my back can only take on so much before it just really does a number on me to where it worsens even more. So something I really cannot risk in the sense of like my overall health, for like in that regard. So I'm probably going to be mentioning more about which build I had to part ways with. I got rid of it Friday. I had to talk to the person who I gave it to, about financial stuff, the financial aspect of it, so that way, that part could be sorted out. And In retrospect, I'm glad I got rid of it, because like I said, the sciatica would have made it really hard for me, like, to move certain like that, as well as the other two, Odin and Deadpool, if I were to hypothetically move to Seattle in the next few months. But again, I'm not moving to Seattle for another 5 to 10 years, because that way I have everything all ready to go. Outside of that, I'm going to have a couple other video logs, with the apartment, how it looks now, because I've made some pretty drastic changes to a few of the rooms. Living room being one of them, kitchen being a big one, and the bathroom that I share with one of my roommates. So it's one of those things where I've got a video log on that. I'm not so sure if I'm quite done with the bathroom that the roommate and I share quite yet, because I'm debating on one item, and it's just like, is it really worth having? Is it worth not having? Etc. If that makes any sense. Yesterday I actually, while I was grocery shopping, I got a shower caddy for that particular bathroom. I can honestly say that the bathroom is more spacious now, which is something I'm really proud of. It's just a matter of the one item is tied to toilet paper, so I just don't know if I want to stick to what I have, or if I'm going to, get a bit of a rack to hold the toilet paper, and then get rid of the shelf that I currently have there. I simply don't know yet. I am trying to figure out how to make that bathroom as spacious as possible, so to speak. And it makes it look like an actual bathroom instead of a bit of a war zone. Because those who know me well enough all know I'm claustrophobic, and clutter drives me mad, and not in a good way. I deal with that to some extent at work. I don't want to deal with that at home as well. I just like things, spacious, somewhat minimalistic, and clean, if not presentable. So with that, I do have travel plans to visit Seattle late next month, and next month being September, I already have my flight and lodging arrangements already booked. So it's one of those things where it's I do have to make sure everything's everything is up to date, in the sense of things being paid off, so I don't have to worry about varying expenses while I am in Seattle. And it's after this upcoming trip to Seattle, I do have to sit down and think about how many more trips do I want to do before I start saving up the money to move out of state, because I want to make sure I get a minimum of 3 visits to Seattle, and that way I have a good idea of what to expect, in the sense of the people, food costs, so on and so forth. And then it was that, which is phase 1, make the visits, at least 3 is probably going to be maybe another 2 more after, maybe 5, who knows. But it's also going to come down to the job situation as well. So at least 3 visits, and then after the final visit, which is, I don't know if it's going to be after the next one, or I do after the 3rd visit, another 1 or 2 more. And that way I have a much better idea of what to expect, how much to save up, that sort of thing. And that's going to be interesting because, from Illinois to Washington State, that's going to be at least a few $1,000s to get everything over cross country. And for me, it's just I just want to make sure I have certain things in place by the time I move to Seattle, meaning that a job lined up and a roof over my head. And I would rather have certain things like that in place, so that way by the time the move happens, I can at least have everything in order. So that's to do a bit of a recap. I've had a lot of health and work issues that's been keeping me on the sidelines on an overall scale. The Bumblebee video, like I said, I am aiming for November on that. And that's mainly because I have a week off from work in November. So that's probably my best time to do it. I have some videos coming up. It's just like I have to really plan those out. Including that sort of thing. And then the whole thing with Seattle, like I said, after I have a trip coming up late next month. And after that, I do have to sit down and think, like, okay, should it be 3 visits? Should it be 4 visits? Should it be 5 visits? So that way, I could start saving up money to where, in a separate account, of course, where it's like, that money's going to be dedicated to the move. And then, if need be, you know, get, like, a security deposit and maybe a month or 2 rent. So that way, it's all like, it's like everything is in order. And I rather have everything, like all my ducks in a row, started out beforehand. So it's like, that's that on that. But I will have a video coming up. I think it's going to be the next one. It's going to be the update. Well, not the updates. The other half to the computer aspect. And like I said, I got rid of one of my computers a couple of days ago. It's out of necessity. And like I said, the reason is I am citing the sciatica. It got worse. And the last thing I need is to have something to really damage my back so bad. And that is all I have for this video. It's a bit of a life update video. So I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on, that sort of thing. I got rid of a few other things here. I'm going to show you guys a quick peek of the redo of the apartment. So you're going to be seeing something in a couple of seconds, which includes here the living room. I had a desk there, as you can see. It's like it's a newer desk that I bought from Amazon. And what you see here, I'm going to see if I could zoom in a little bit. There we go. Is that I actually got that's going to be a tower. I'm going to reveal more about that and the motherboard that will inherit that case. That I will have more on that in the second half of the computer builds videos. And I'm kind of excited. So you can see here I actually am down one desktop. But again, it's for the best, and it's out of necessity due to the medical issues. So there is a laptop there. The reason why I have a small laptop there is like for business. You know, I'm trying to start my own business. At least I have something where I can look into inquiries, like who wants me to build something for them. I do need to get an external SSD drive for it, so that way I don't have to worry about things like certain files taking up too much memory, if that makes any sense. Too much storage, not my memory, storage. Too much storage. So I did move some stuff around here so you guys can see. But again, it's for the best. I got rid of one of my monitors, so like I said, I freed up some space, and again that's for the best. Let me see if I could get somebody on the camera here. He is sleeping. There he is, the sleepyhead. Hey, Sandy. Hey, buddy. You're my buddy, right? You're my buddy? Oh, I'm sorry for ruining your sleep. Yes, this is Sandy. This is one of his spots to doze off the windowsill. I don't quite know why he likes it, but I am not going to complain. But he does say hi to everybody. So on that note, I'm done with this video, but like I said, the next one is going to be the start of the second half of the PC builds that I have or had. Instead of, if I were to upgrade them, what would I upgrade them to? So, that's it on that. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.